Hi there. If you're using Zoom as your primary platform for meetings, then you're probably familiar with Zoom rooms. So traditionally, a Zoom room was a PC that had USB audio and USB camera connected to it. But with the Poly Studio X and the G7500, it runs as an appliance. So there is no PC at all. So that means less cables, less boxes, less complexity, probably less cost. So this one device like the Studio X50 here has the speakers built in, stereo speakers, several mics built in, a 4K camera that's automatic speaker tracking, and it has a processor built into it. So this boots directly up with no PC at all, and it boots into this native Zoom Room app written by Zoom. So the experience is really very nice. So you walk into the room and you use our TC8 as your touch control, as your Zoom Room controller. So you can just start up a new meeting on the fly. And the TC8 then becomes your touch control, your control for the meeting. So you can start recording, start and stop recording from here. You can add participants, you can mute, you can switch cameras if you have multiple cameras connected to the Studio X or G7500. So you can control anything about the meeting with this touch control. If you need to share content, you can use that. It'll use the native Zoom for that. And if you have a Zoom phone account for phone calls, then this same device can also be your phone. So you can use this touch control. If you do have a touch display, then that's another option for how you control the system. And you can actually use the touch control and a touch display, multiple controllers on the same Zoom room. With so many companies making plans now to come back to the office, they're trying to think of ways where they can minimize the number of things that people have to touch when they come back to the office. So with the solution is a touchless control. So as long as you have the Zoom application on your phone, your tablet, you can actually use this to control your Zoom room running on Studio X or Poly G7500. So, once you're paired up, I can go ahead and create a new meeting, start a new meeting or join an existing one directly from this device, my device. So I don't have to touch the system in the room at all. I can control it directly from here. So pretty nice solution and totally touchless. I'll end the call from here as well. And now the call is over. One other thing I wanted to point out on these Zoom rooms is we have these for every size room. So this behind me is the Studio X50 that it's running on. Underneath it for a large room is the Poly G7500. So in the case of large rooms, you're typically using extra peripherals like this Pro camera and optical zoom camera, or Pro audio like this IP table mic, or even a ceiling mic are like this one are all options. And in the small room, we have the Studio X30. So same thing in a small package. In all cases, everything's built into the unit. It runs the Zoom Room native.